Pull out your dicks, get ready to fap. It's time for your favorite show, The Grease Trap. Pull out your dicks, get ready to fap. It's time for your favorite show, Grease Trap.
And skibbity bebop boo. Welcome to The Grease Trap. All right, what's Paul's jerking off? That's not appropriate, Paul.
Paul, stop.
Huh? Paul.
It said pull out your dick and get ready to fap. I was just...
It meant metaphorically, Paul.
Yeah, you're metaphorical. You're brain dick, Paul.
I can't even finish up. You guys gonna leave me blue balled for the...
obviously you can finish
if you want to go off cam,
start.
if you want to go cam...
No, I don't even want to. Now I'm like half hard. You fucked up the moment.
I'm sorry, but this is on you. You misconstrued what was going on. Okay?
Mad case of blue balls. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for leaving me like this, you fucking cock tease. You know what? You're just a slut. You know that?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
You're just a slut that gets off on fucking withholding sex from men, you fucking slut.
It's true.
Fucking lesbian.
It's all true.
You don't want to sleep with me? You must be a lesbian.
Enjoy your blue balls.
Dude, isn't it fucked up that like women actually get that kind of shit from dudes when they don't fuck them?
I think it's okay now because Scotty's not friends with the dude anymore, but Scotty had a friend who was literally like that. His old friend
if a chick wouldn't fuck him, he'd be like, "Fuck you, slut."
No, not slut. He'd always be like, "You fucking dykes, man. They don't fucking even like dudes because if they did, they've been totally on that."
Me and him actually had a conversation one time that was like, all lesbians take dick, right? And I was like, what? I was like, then why would they be lesbians then? He's like, no. All lesbians take a dick. I can tell you that for a fact. For a fact. I was like, well, how would you know? He's like, girl told me she was a lesbian. I fucked her. All lesbians, man. I'm telling you. There ain't no such thing as a real lesbian, dude. It's all like, I think you might probably just find yourself having an attraction to lesbians and then it doesn't work out. And then because they don't want to fuck you.
Well, that makes it even stranger because I know for a fact that one time he was macking on some chicks and then like he got shot down and he was like, oh yeah, well you just fucking dykes anyway. Fucking lesbians. Go lick each other's fucking pussies then. Fuck you. Yeah. Like, dude.
Well, he's one of those dudes that was just obsessed with women.
Right.
He was obsessed with meeting women and just like that was his life,
Dude, that's like Manny in Scarface.
Yeah, kind of like that.
When he's like, watch what I do. I'm going to go stick my tongue out to that woman over there. And he walks up to this bitch and he's like, and she slaps him. And then he's like, you fucking lesbian.
Like, same dude, by the way, who was like super philosophical when we were kids. Like, dude, are we walking down the street or is the street moving around us?
Oh.
I'm like, we're walking down the street. Yeah, but what if? Like, open your mind.
How do you know?
How do you really know that? It's like because I can see my legs moving. Like I literally have to do this to do it. It doesn't just move around.
What if that owl has all the knowledge in the universe?
I was like, it doesn't. It's an owl.
How do you know?
Because how would it have obtained that? It's just an owl in a tree.
The point is, you don't know for certain.
I mean, I can know within a reasonable certainty, yes, that the owl does not know all the knowledge of the universe.
No, for certain, DJ.
By the way, the trope of an owl is wise is like a pretty modern invention. If you actually look at like medieval paintings of owls, they look derpy and stupid as fuck.
But it's like the fox, dude. The fox is like cunning animal.
Yeah, they used to the owl used to be the idiot of nature. I'm serious. Go back and look at those old medieval fucking owl paintings. They don't even.
I mean, in fairness to owls, a lot of people look pretty derpy, and like paintings from that time period. We talking about what from like the 6th century into like the 15th century.
I don't know what fucking centuries I'm talking about.
Okay, well, yeah, maybe it's a bad way to put it to you.
A lot of fucking
I love it
because medieval times, like you hadn't necessarily like seen the animals, like there wasn't photographs and shit. So like a lot of times they don't even like look all that much like the fucking shit they're supposed to be.
I mean, that kind of looks like an owl,
but it's owl-esque.
Like this is supposed to be a fucking owl.
That does not look like an owl.
Oh, like a goddamn thing like a fucking owl, bro.
I mean, maybe there's some species of owl that looks like
I can at least see that. But yeah, some of the times they'll fucking draw shit, especially if you get to like more like exotic animals and shit. Like Some of the fucking shit, like obviously the artist had never seen.
Dude, like elephants and shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Just put like medieval elephant painting.
Yeah. Medieval elephants. Oh yeah. Okay.
I love them, dude.
Hold up. You gotta see some of this shit. That's supposed to be an elephant.
Clearly.
Here's an elephant. It has an entire fucking castle on its back, right?
Well, yeah, it's an elephant.
Like, clearly these people had never fucking seen these creatures in real life. Like, look, this is supposed to be a fucking elephant. Like, have you seen? Yeah, it's like a weasel. Dude, a giant weasel with a fucking...
Go back to that one with the castle on his back.
Yeah.
Dude, that's Snuffy the Snuffleupagus, dude.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, you see where their inspiration came from.
Look at this.
No.
Uncanny.
This is clearly a drawing based on someone who was just kind of like told by someone else, who was told by someone else, who was told by someone else, etc. What an elephant fucking looked like.
Yeah.
They have some details right, though.
Well, yeah, like, obviously they've heard about the elephant's fucking trunk and the big giant tusks and shit. But
doesn't like capture the size, or I mean, it almost like they've given the elephant like fur.
Yeah, it's like a wolf.
They've basically like probably fucking filled in the details with animals they do know about. Like, it's like this thing, except it's got this, this, and this. You know. Here's
like
one where the
wolf.
elephants are no bigger than a horse.
Damn, they're being killed too.
Yeah, these elephants are just being slaughtered. These
knights are like, fuck you, fucking elephant.
That's some goofy ass shit.
Some of their depiction. This is supposed to be a depiction of a hippo.
Right on, perfect.
Dead on balls.
A fisho. What?
So here's one that actually kind of knew what.
That looks.
Yeah, this is supposed to be a hippo.
Damn, it's like flowing fucking locks.
That apparently is supposed to be. I don't know. That's not supposed to be a hippo. That's supposed to be some guy named Augustus of Hippo or whatever the fuck.
Is that a fucking hippo
of hippo
eating a crocodile or an alligator? What the fuck is that?
What's this? Oh, this is a whole article. Hilarious medieval paintings of animals.
Clickbait.
Still, it's in here. This is supposed to be a whale, right?
Yep.
Dude, I wish these whales were real. Look pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, here. Crocodile, of course.
Looks more like a lizard, but yeah.
Snail.
Oh, there's like
head
an
of an
angry little
armadillo?
fucking weasel that lives in the snail.
Dude, this is an oyster.
Oh.
This is what an oyster looks like.
It's like meatwad, dude.
Yeah. My name is.
That's me, your oyster.
There's more elephants. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Another one.
Slather some butter on me.
Owl with human face.
Why not?
Why are there other birds like eating it? Or what are they doing?
Is that a rhino?
Yeah.
Damn, it's like armored.
Another crocodile. I guess they
Man, these
neglected to mention
these
it's
medieval artists didn't know what was what, dude.
This is supposed to be a beaver.
What a bunch of dumb fucks.
These
Lions and bears.
lions and bears.
Dude, what a bunch of morons lived back in the day, dude.
I mean, they just had never seen these animals.
Dude,
I mean,
like, all right,
So why
TJ,
are they
but
trying to draw them then if you've never seen it?
I don't know.
I got like a question for you, TJ.
Oh, look at this leopard.
Why
It's so
didn't
amazing.
people back then just go
Hey, he's
on?
got balls. Look at that.
Why didn't they just pull out their smartphone and Google it, TJ?
Yeah, I don't know.
Why they just did-
Stupid.
I mean, really?
This fucking leopard
Fucking idiots.
got some fucking balls dangling out. You see that shit?
Damn.
Got a nut sack. That's
These
pretty
dumb
cool.
fucks, man. Don't
Didn't
they
know
know how to
shit.
Google shit? I mean, come on.
Fucking.
I mean, look,
dumb.
like, all right, what does a lion look like, TJ? Look, go to Google right here. Type in lion.
All right.
Type in lion. Okay,
Okay,
what does a lion look like?
You already know what a fucking lion.
No, I'm just
looks
saying, I'm
like.
giving you an example. That's all these people had to do, guys. Look, it's right fucking there.
Too
Man,
dumb.
stop sharing
Ignorant
screen, but whatever.
motherfuckers. Oh, fine, whatever. You stop sharing your screen.
But everyone knows what a fucking lion looks like.
Yeah.
You don't even need to look it up. Everyone already knows.
What was wrong with these people in these medieval times not getting this shit right?
Stupid. I've been to medieval times before.
Yeah.
They let you bring your cell phone.
Why wouldn't they?
Ah. Let's see what else is going on in the world.
She's like, I don't know.
I don't know what the fuck else is happening.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know. Fuck.
What's going on here? Google founder flees to New Zealand. Billionaires on island.
I wonder why that is.
You know, he needs to fucking step up his game. A lot of these motherfuckers have fled to space at this point. So, you know.
Yeah, you know, it's pretty crazy. All these people are fleeing different parts of the world. You know, all these really rich fucks are going to these bunkers in New Zealand. I wonder why they're doing it. There must be some reason. I wonder if there's something these billionaires know that we don't know. Is there anything that they might know that we don't?
I mean, there's nothing they know that I don't know. That the world is fucking basically like collapsing and shit.
Dude, there's a bad moon rising, dude.
I see a bad moon arising.
It's true.
I see trouble on the way.
Man, everything's gonna be fine, guys. You know, there's like we're having more ice melting, but that's good. There's less ice in the world. Ice is cold. People don't like to live cold places. We're gonna have a tropical paradise, right? So what's gonna happen. People are all worried about shit. Oh man, the ocean. Dude. It's like, look, it's gonna be a tropical fucking. Hey guys, I read another good piece of information today about the whole climate change thing. They say the Gulf Stream might be breaking down. It's no big deal, right? It just, you know, it's just gonna drastically change the climate of a lot of different places that people live. You know, it's gonna make like the UK have these horrible winter storms, like more like Norway is accustomed to, a place like that. It's gonna get more ice in different places. It's gonna have different places go into drought, other places get flooded. No big deal.
I like it.
Yeah, it's not gonna have cataclysmic consequences for anyone here. I wouldn't be stressed out about it at all. Just so you know. You know what's actually great about those models is people talk about like, look, these models, they're saying this. We have all this time. It's like actually now that they're actually studying these things again, which they do continuously, scientists do, have found that the negative impacts of climate change are actually happening quicker than previously thought. And there was actually some pretty broad range estimates, by the way. So it wasn't just like, oh, they were super conservative and, you know, oh, it just was a little bit above. It's like, no, most of these factors that are being tracked, it's looking very, very bad. So if I was a billionaire, I'd probably be on an island like New Zealand right now, too.
Yeah, I guess they think New Zealand is going to be like the most shielded place because I actually heard a lot of them have bunkers there.
It probably is. I mean, look, it's really far away from most human civilization. There's a more limited population. Probably some of it's, I think a lot of it's still kind of like untouched, more pristine because it's like on the, like, you know, the edge of, you know, the developed world. It's still it's a very nice place to live by a lot of metrics. A lot of suicides for teens, though. I was reading that about New Zealand. I guess teenagers, it's like New Zealand is not great for them, but for billionaires, it's wonderful.
Yeah, well, that's probably because there's all these billionaires there now, and all the teenagers are just like, fuck this.
Too many billionaires.
I don't want to grow up in a world full of billionaires. It's time to die.
But yeah, New Zealand. So if you want to live longer, somehow find your way to New Zealand. Just lie, say you're a billionaire. Be like, look, I'm carrying that dude's bag. I'm carrying this billionaire's bag. Let me in the country.
I was looking about like how to like, you know, immigrate to other countries and shit. And like pretty much every one of these countries is like, all right, well, here's the long drawn out process for how to do it. And then at the end, they're like, or you could just make a $2 million donation to a local business and then you're automatically in. It's like, what?
Well, it's not donate. You have to start a business, but like you're rich. It's like you can.
Well, a lot
of
them, you just have to invest in the local economy. You don't even have to start your own business. You just have
to. Well, it's
not
a donation. A donation implies you're just giving the money. Like an investment would be like you own basically whatever business or you own a part of it.
Right.
So,
well, at least one state that it was a donation.
It was a donation.
Yeah, it was just like give money. If you give money to any local New Zealand business, or not necessarily, I don't know if it was New Zealand, but it was some country. You just give money to one of the local businesses. Don't even have to be an investment. You just be like, here's money.
Of course. I mean, if you're going to come pump up their economy, they're not going to turn you away.
You have officially helped the economy.
Rich people are welcome anywhere.
You're allowed in.
It doesn't matter. If you're rich, you're welcome in any fucking country because you're going to give, ultimately rich people employ other people. So of course they want you living there because you're going to be good for their economy.
Fucking stupid rich parasites. They've already
You mean job creators, TJ?
They've already destroyed this fucking planet. Now they're going to go fucking destroy the last pristine shit left. And then they're fucking going to escape into space and go fuck that up too.
Let's go fuck up Mars. Sounds good.
You know, I always thought Mars could use a fucking TGI Fridays, you guys. Fuck. Son of a bitch, bro.
Yeah, most of those billionaires just want to live forever. That's all they want.
Dude, I'd usually have a lot more to contribute to this topic, but I was talking about it on Ideology last night, how like I'm just like emotionally flat about this shit right now. Like I've spent so much time being morally outraged by what's going on the planet that for the last week or so, I can't care about shit. I just don't.
I have come to a place of Zen acceptance of the truth.
I mean, it's like that. It's like depersonalization or derealization. Shit happens too, where you're just like, what do you want me to do? You know what I mean? Like, what do you want me to do about it? Like, I can't do anything about it. So
it's exhausting ranting and raving about this shit and watching nothing ever get done about it. So, you know.
No, I don't blame you. I mean, like, that happens to a lot of people. I mean,
it's not a good place to be in when you're a guy that people pay to do that, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, granted, but I mean, you can't, you know, otherwise it would just be false anyways. We're just like, yeah, fuck this shit. But I mean, like, we see all the metrics. It's right in front of us. It's like, why think that Drudge Report's covering it? Because even people who are on the right, who are right-leaning or conservative, realize, like, oh, all these rich fucks is fleeing these places, like California. It's like, oh, you know, I left California. There's too many homeless people, like Joe Rogan or something. Like, no, he didn't. It's California slowly running out of water and natural resources, and these people have all high-level contacts, and it's like, yeah, I really wouldn't want to be there soon. It's just, you know, it's just shit like that. And I mean, and we're seeing it all. It's happening all over the California coast. I mean, it's record droughts. It's not even just there though. It's the whole West Coast. It's just run out of water. There's not going to be any water. It's so dry there. They're not getting enough rain. And I mean, they've been through, and then historically, that landmass has always been in drought or has been susceptible to them. So I mean, that's gonna fucking suck. So a lot of people are moving to these smaller cities. That's why there's a real estate boom going on in the U.S. right now, but it's basically people fleeing the cities to the suburbs. Like, oh, if I go to the suburbs of the country, then I'll be okay, right? That's where I'll be safe. And it's like, yeah, probably for a time, but I mean, there's no way to avoid climate change. It's impossible. There's no person on the planet that's gonna be able to claim like, no, I'm fine. You know, there's gonna be areas that are spared, and they're obviously they're gonna have less problems. And like, obviously, if you live right on the fucking coast or you live in an island nation, like, yeah, obviously you're fucked. There's nothing that's gonna be done for you. But you know, if you live more in an interior place, you have one of these green zones. That's where all the rich people are gonna go. They're gonna take them over. So New Zealand, you're soon gonna be owned if you're not already by billionaires. You probably already are, though.
I'm also at my least favorite part of. Like, as a dude who's kind of forced to talk politics, I'm at my least favorite part in the political cycle right now. Because it's the part where all the people that called me a moron start, like, passively rolling over and agreeing with me in different ways and shit. But somehow I was still wrong and still a moron the whole time. It just happens every time, you know what I mean? It's like all the people with the fake optimism about Biden are now starting to, like, sheepishly come out and go like, well, you know, Biden, I guess we didn't really reduce much harm, guys, with this Biden guy. And it's just like, it's this time where I just feel indignant all the fucking time because I'm just like, well, I was saying this shit like fucking 3 years ago, and I've been called a moron for 3 straight years, and now just like all the people that were calling me a fucking dickhead are just kind of sort of like, yeah, you know, Paul was right, but Paul's still a fucking dickhead though.
That's like, my position. But,
Paul is right, but he's an asshole.
Yeah, but
Paul, you're right, but you're still an asshole. So what the fuck ever?
Honestly, the other problem is that like.
I was never gonna vote.
Most
for
people
Biden.
Between fucking elections just kind of like, all right, well, I'll pay attention to this again in like a couple of years.
Oh, we done it, guys.
I might tune in for the midterms, probably not. But next election,
look at
you can count me showing back up with my opinion, you guys. Don't worry.
Look at the special
but
election
for the next
cycle.
4 years, I'm checking out.
We covered on Flash Ride, and remember in Ohio, it was like voter turnout about 18%. Yep, people in America super invested in the political process, right, guys?
That was another thing I was talking about too, is like how like people are just like kind of like unknowingly joining me. You know what I mean? Like slowly but surely, like the online left seems fired up about this like continued electoralism, but the vast majority of people don't even show up for this shit. So,
oh no, 100%. Oh yeah, I mean, like the voter apathy is like crazy high. I mean, if you want to call it, it gets called voter apathy. I'm sure there's apathy is a huge chunk of it. Because I feel like there's also just a lot of people that are really like more in your boat of like, Fuck you. Fuck
That's why I
this,
said
bullshit.
if you wanted to win, form the apathy party. Just form the apathy. That's all you'd have to do.
Yeah.
Because that's the majority. If we're being honest, it's like you have two football teams that both sides. Oh, I'm really super invested. Oh my god, I really love it. But then you have a bunch of people like, I don't give a fuck. I just want to go fucking, just live
Who
my
can
life.
fucking blame them though? Like these people are called idiots by people on the left, but people on the left continue to like pom the DNC like there's ever going to be like a genuine progressive snuck through the ranks of that fucking place. And they act all shocked when their DNC candidate doesn't. It's just like Bernie. Like you go back to fucking Bernie's first run. And as soon as he started running as a DNC candidate, I started making takes about Bernie that got called an idiot for. I was like, he's going to hand a bunch of money to the DNC. There's no way that he comes through the DNC like unscathed. Like even if he does get the presidency, he's going to be like beholden to this neoliberal agenda. He's going to be like a lame duck or just possibly like not even viable. People fucking boo, Paul. Boo! Fuck you, Bernie, a bust, baby. Woo! And then he did exactly what I said he was going to do, right? And everybody was like, oh, man, oh, shucks, oh, gee, oh, whiz. And then the next fucking thing comes along, and I'm going like, he's going to do the same thing he did last time. And people are like, fuck you, Bernie, a bust, Paul, woo, woo, Bernie train. And he does the same fucking shit.
Dude,
And,
you know what it reminds me of? You know what it really reminds me of? It's like those old WWE, WWF matches where it's like you want, guy's gonna win. Oh, the bad guy just happens to kick out at 2. It's like you have that close finish. 1, 2.
yeah.
That's like Bernie. Bernie was ahead. Yeah, Bernie's got the money. Bernie's got the lead. Bernie's got the power. But what's it? Oh, it's Biden. Oh my God, Biden hits Bernie with a steel chair. 1, 2, 3, it's over. Bernie's done. Bernie is done.
And
That's
dude,
exactly
he
what
played right
fucking
into
happened.
it too. He played his role perfectly.
Yeah, it's like the fucking turnaround, gets hit in the face with a steel chair. Bernie drops like a fucking rock. The DNC comes in. They
He's
win.
like, well, we ran a good campaign. We clearly had more people interested in us than in, anybody else in this race, but for some reason, I'm now losing. So I'm going to give my money to Joe Biden.
And bend the knee again.
It's like,
Yep.
oh,
Bend the knee to fucking Biden as well. So it's like, oh, well, it's political pragmatism. You got to do it right.
and so now my new thing is like the DNC is the poison. Like that's what I'm trying to get people to see. It's not the politician. Like Nina Turner might have the best of intentions. Bernie Sanders might have the best of intentions.
Sure.
But when they are forced into this meat grinder, red versus blue, false dichotomy, that's what's doing it. It's the DNC poisons anybody that could ever fucking get to that point. Make sure they don't win. It happens over and over again, and people act like it doesn't. And I'm just so sick of people that are like activists going like, oh, shucks. Oh, gee whiz, guys, our fucking progressive didn't get elected again. Wonder what the problem was there. And it's just like the DNC's like hanging out there like a big old pustule on the lip of your fucking blind date. You know what I mean? Just a big old herpes sore on the face. And like, I wonder where the problem is, you know? It's like, well, if at first you don't succeed, you know what I mean? And it's just like, well, how about we examine why we don't succeed within the DNC structure? Because it's not due to lack of interest. It's not due to lack of votes. It's not due to lack of fundraising. So what is it? When I asked Vosh about it, I was like, why did Bernie lose the first time? And he was like, my dude, that was a long time ago. My guy, I remember being very angry. You don't remember why Bernie didn't win against fucking the unelectable shitheel that was Hillary Clinton? You don't think you ought to examine that? If like the tactic that you're telling people to engage in is further electoralism? Like,
Yeah, I would want to study what happened. Of course, I think anyone should. I mean,
and when you do study what happens, what do you find?
A totally fair race in which the better woman won. It was just straight up and down. No, what am I saying? It was literally rigged. States Bernie won. It was like, We will pledge our delegates to Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Yep.
It's like, wait a minute, what just happened?
The DNC used its
It's like you just literally the steal is in front of you. You talking about like stop the steal? That was Hillary and Bernie.
Yeah. And what did he do in response to it?
I pledge my undying fealty and loyalty to you.
Hail Caesar, I'm with her. Let's go. Take all the money that I raised from hopeful college kids that thought that they were going to get health care and lose to Donald Trump.
It's like, what happened when Bernie lost in 2016? My dude, that was a long time ago, my guy. No, it wasn't.
Well, 2020 wasn't that long
Well, how about,
ago.
the last cycle? Oh, Bernie's winning. Bernie's leading. Oh, the other bullshit candidates have evaporated like a fart in the wind. Where's
And all
Buttigieg?
uniformly endorsed Joe Biden, except for Elizabeth Warren, who hung in just long enough to split Bernie's votes off and make him unviable against Joe Biden everywhere else.
You've
Sounds
played your
straight
parts
up.
to perfection. A cabinet role for you, Buttigieg, indeed.
But I
Those
tell you
motherfuckers-
what, guys, you know what we really need to do? Get a super ultra socialist and work them through that DNC.
I think it could be done though. I mean, like the problem is that Bernie was it really could. I mean, you can laugh all you want, but it could be done.
Dude, it would have
Okay.
to be like the most. Okay,
You would.
is it possible? Yes, but it would have to be such a transformation of American politics.
It was so close to happening already. The problem is that the vote was split enough that you could funnel all the mainstream Democrats to Biden. If you were actually able to, if Bernie was winning by like 10 points or something, they could cheat all they want. He would still have been fucking pushed through to the top of the fucking shit heap. So
Yeah, we
What
discussed
about,
it.
What
Bernie
about
would
the
have.
states that he won in 2016 that went to Hillary Clinton due to superdelegacy?
I mean, that system's already been changed to some extent. So there's
To
already been some reform
extent,
there.
not to the extent that it wouldn't allow the DNC to fuck with the vote totals again.
Dude,
You
we
looked
saw
at
it in Iowa.
rule
Even if they
change.
did, I mean,
Dude,
if
we
they
saw
did,
it in Iowa. They
would,
flipped a coin and they just said, "Well,
they would alienate a huge percentage of the voting public. At that
They already
point.
did. They don't care about that. They want that. That's why 18% of people showed
have
up to vote in the Nina Turner Brown election.
They have to maintain a certain level of viability, otherwise they break the duopoly by just ceding too much ground to the Republicans.
They know there's always going to be people. Well, like being part of the DNC, there's a power play there.
Well, if you really wanna know-
and there's just like it's a path set for you. It's like, oh, this is how things should be. I agree with these people. Like we need. Look, there's a lot of centrist people.
This
At
fairy
the end of the day,
tale
here's
that
here's
the
the problem.
corporate-owned
Here's the-
DNC is going to let an anti-corporate candidate sneak through to high office is fucking ludicrous.
It's not ludicrous, but here's the thing: the DNC knows how to play fucking chess, and the left is playing fucking. I don't even think we're up to checkers yet. I think we're playing tic-tac-toe.
I play 4D chess, TJ.
So I mean, like, there's just
4D.
there's no strategizing. There's no fucking actual like interest in how the political system works.
Well, I think a lot of the interest that should be put towards strategizing for how to beat the DNC and how to brute force a candidate through the DNC is spent like cheerleading for milquetoast centrist candidates.
Well,
Yay,
actually,
Biden,
I think a lot of it.
yay,
I think a lot
AOC.
more of it, honestly, is actually spent on infighting as everyone tries to vie to fill the Bernie Sanders role of like, I'm the new figurehead of the American left. And it's like that's become the more important thing than actually obtaining
they
political
need to find
victory.
somebody, don't they? They can't run Bernie again in fucking 2024.
No.
So they got to find somebody so that
I'm
whatever
talking,
you call
I'm talking
it,
more about,
infighting
I'm
needs
talking
to
about more of
happen.
the ideological leadership. You know what I mean?
I
like
agree.
the-
Well, I think that's completely lacking in the DNC structure anyway. Like pretty much.
Well, I'm
any
not
DNC
talking about. I'm not talking
politician.
about the DNC. I'm talking about like just like the populist leftist movement that's kind of sprung up in the last fucking like, or at least had a resurgence in the last fucking decade or so. Pretty much solidifying with Bernie's candidacy.
The truth of the matter is this, and this is just how I see it. And you can disagree with me if you want. Just see how you feel about this statement.
Okay, sure.
I think that the electoral system has been so soiled in the minds of the average person. See, I don't buy this. People are too dumb to participate. People are too lazy to participate. Shit.
I think that's true for some people, but I think it's
Right.
I think it's used
I mean,
too broad
sure.
of a brush.
There's always going to be
There's some
there's
people
always
out
people.
there.
People are painted with too broad of a brush on that. I agree with you there.
I think that there's a broad swath of people that don't participate in electoral politics, and they may not be the smartest people, but if you were to ask them, why don't you vote? You would get some form of, because it doesn't fucking matter.
No, I've
Meet the new
probably.
boss, same as the
This
old
is
boss.
not even-
they make promises.
This is not
they
even
lie.
hypothetical to me. This is like I've talked to so many people about this kind of stuff.
Right. So you know that this is what I'm saying is true. And so
I don't hear a lot of apathy. I hear a lot of people that say like I don't feel like there's any real difference between the two sides, and I can't blame them for thinking that.
it's not an avenue that I feel like my vote can change anything, because when I do get invested in it, I don't get what I'm promised from the people that I vote for. And so why the fuck even show up? I just go about my day. My life doesn't change one way or the other. Fuck the system. Fuck everybody in it. It's just a big circus. You hear this shit from people on both sides that don't vote.
The last time, other than so Bernie Sanders obviously had some very spirited fucking supporters and shit. But the last time I really saw Americans broadly galvanized around the enthusiastic support of a candidate was Barack Obama.
Oh yeah,
right.
I mean that's
And
unquestionable.
And what was his message? His message was
change.
Hope. Shit has gone. This bullshit has gone on for too long. It's time to truly fix this shit. And we all got invested in it.
Hope.
Right. The change you've been waiting for is within you, kind of shit. Like, wow, he's so inspirational and shit. Wow, he's really gonna change things. And then,
well, he was young. He was black. It was a time when people of color were ascendant politically and really starting to question, like, hey, why is everybody in fucking politics white? And along came this really, really talented politician who was able to make these grandiose, sweeping promises and disguise them as this beautifully written and kind of old almost sounding prose that borrowed heavily from civil rights leaders and borrowed heavily from political iconoclasts. Dude was a fucking celebrity overseas. There were like 500,000 people showed up to see him speak in Berlin.
Right.
So
he was
this dude was, and people coalesced behind this guy. And what happened?
He was basically he was a tepid centrist, no different than like
nominally liberal on some things that didn't matter, but
he loaded up his. You knew it. When I knew the jig was fucking up and we'd been fucking had was when his cabinet appointments started rolling in, and it was all lobbyists. It was all fucking insiders.
Because it's so complex though. There's a massive infrastructure around the government that's unelected. There's a deep state that exists, and I know people. That's not just conspiracy shit. There's just lifelong people who are in these positions of power, who are unappointed, who basically are like, look, this is how the world is. Like, president gets sit down and told, this is how the fucking world is. And like for anyone, that's gonna be a humbling and like, oh my god, experience. So it's like you have to go with these people and you have to go with this, or the government's not gonna function. And you see Donald Trump, and that's what you get. A highly dysfunctional government, because Donald Trump's like, I'll do away with all that shit. And to some degree, our government can't really operate without those people because it's operated that way for so long. That's why you saw this totally just like dysfunctional, almost traumatic government for the American people, which is mainly what led to Biden's election. It was that Trump could not credibly run the government. That was why you saw this shit. I don't think Biden won for any reason besides that, because he represented a greater threat to the middle and the centrist interest than Biden does. Biden was totally going to win this election, and that's the fucking reason he won it.
See,
that's not because he was charismatic or anything else.
I agree with you, but I have maybe a more conspiratorial kind of view of this. I think that the entire thing is theater. Kind of live LARP theater where both sides have the same agenda. When I say both sides, I mean the political left here in the country and the political right. The corporate left and the corporate right, the people that are in actual power. They've got the same functional agenda. They realized long ago the power of certain social wedge issues to keep people feeling like they have a choice when really they're just ping-ponging the same fucking boss back and forth. And I think that both sides want it that way. I think that Donald Trump was a huge boon to the Democrats because it let them literally lower the bar through the floor.
Oh yeah.
So Donald Trump, while they publicly excoriated everything he did, he was like because they knew, like, we don't even have to have a hint of progressivism. We don't even have to promise it this time around. We just throw Joe Biden up there. Good old austerity Biden. Good old racial jungle Joe. Let's dust his fucking mummy off. Let's unwrap it.
And he can win Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Which clearly, which we talked about that night, was clearly like the key was like Joe Biden could win Pennsylvania over Trump. And he did. And he did. I mean, and that's really what fucking, I mean, like Georgia was super important too. There's definitely some different states, to get the popular vote. But that's that's the main reason that Biden was, because also Biden is just a party insider. And he could attach himself to Obama. It's like, look, black people vote for me because like Obama is anointed me. He waited
the hem of Obama's garment, and I have been anointed. I mean, remember how much he would bring up Obama in his speeches and stuff? It was like there was almost no policy discussion anywhere.
There still isn't.
I mean, the only time I ever saw him do a speech that had much policy material in it was when he did that address to Congress.
No, I agree.
There was actually some fucking policy stuff in there.
Like, I think there's actual disagreements.
In his campaign, it was just Obama. I just want to make that point. That was like his main shit was Obama, restore America, restore hope, whatever the fuck that means. Platitude. Go ahead, Scotty.
I agree with you about your description of the American political system. I think there actually is still infighting and disagreement at that level of power, because always gonna be people with different ideas. But I think you're largely like it's amongst them and like how they're gonna divide up the assets, how they're gonna make the money. I don't think it's really so much of like what we're doing. I think like they're just like, what bone can we throw these fucking piss ants to get them off our backs for a few minutes?
There's no ability anymore. Or there's an ability, but there's really, people don't understand. Like, I see it every day. People going like, well, what can they do? Talking about the squad or talking about Democrats. And I'm just like, what do you mean? What can they do? They've got a trifecta.
A lot.
They've got literally a trifecta. With the stroke of his pen, Biden could fucking legalize marijuana or deschedule it.
Yes.
He could also have student debt.
With the stroke of his pen, he could eliminate student debt. With the stroke of his pen, he could functionally restructure ICE and the immigration system. So this is like, and that's just him. Then you talk about the Congress. Just like, well, they can't get this through. They can't get that through.
Well, no. The Senate guys, the Senate will, because
nobody's fighting for it. What about the fucking backroom dealing and the skullduggery and the shit that happened in early American politics and fucking 20th century American politics to get fucking votes? There used to be a fucking knowledge that this could be done. You go to these people that are going to vote against you and you go, look, I know you don't want to vote for this, but if you do, you got a cabinet position. Or if you do, we'll give you a seat on the Ways and Means Committee. Or if you do, we'll put you next in line for majority whip the next time the party is in power. Just these promises. Or, hey, we've heard you kind of saying that you're not super happy with the way things go up in here in Washington. So, hey, tell you what, you give us your vote on this, we'll get you an appointment in the government back in your home state. You can be Surgeon General, you can be, whatever. That type of political wheeling and dealing is what I'm talking about here. And people just don't act like it doesn't exist. Oh, we can't do it. This guy said he's going to vote no, and that's just the way it is. It's like,
remember too that even if one of these politicians like gets voted out of office or something, it's not like they're then going to like the den of misery to like live in squalor or something.
They're going to K Street.
All of these people get hired as fucking lobbyists, or they get to work for fucking giant corporations, or like there's always a fucking soft landing for all these politicians, even if people like vote them out of office. So
because their influence is worth money. Their ability to walk into Congress and know the structure of it, know the people that are there, makes them worth money. And there's no law in America against lobbying the same body that you served in for a fucking private corporation. So it's just like,
Yeah, so you can show up like, hey, I was a congressperson for a few terms back in fucking 86 and shit.
Yeah, and I just happen to know everyone in Congress still.
I know all about this shit. I'm just like
Well, that's
you.
what I'm saying.
Now.
There's a whole mechanism behind the government. Yeah, and a lot of it is people who have worked in the government and understand how shit is done there and understand how the system works and who you need to talk to and how if you actually want to get something done, that's super valuable because people like us would have no idea. We're just gonna hit a brick wall immediately. It's like, nope. You want to come sit in this office, you're gonna get arrested. Get the fuck out of here. Whereas they're gonna be able to meet with the fucking congressman on their fucking houseboat and talk about the bill. That's the fucking difference.
I'm here to talk to you about these contracts in this state, blah, 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 blah. You can pass this legislation.
And bribing people in the U.S. is so simple. It's like, the only way you get caught is like, look, TJ, here's a pile of money. Take it. Okay, I'll take it. Hope jail for you.
It seems like even that's fucking not even. I mean, I don't even know what the fuck constitutes bribery anymore.
That's about
There's
it.
So much above ground bribery.
That is about it. You literally have to say, this is a bribe. Here you go. And it's like, vote this way. And you have to go, because I've taken this money, I will do what you say. That's about it.
look at fucking
Boy, I
Bezos
sure
trying to like make a $2 billion donation to NASA to kick Elon Musk off the fucking moonlander contract and shit that we covered.
Right. It's like pretty much open bribery. Like,
That's
hey, I'll
it,
give
dude,
you money
if
if you fucking go with me.
If you went to a fucking local official or some shit, some arm of the local government were like, hey, I'm going to give you like $5,000 to make this water reconstruction bill go my way so my house stays on the city water, bro. And the guy takes it. The point was, if you tried to do that and that dude reported you, your ass would go to jail.
Almost certainly,
For attempting to bribe a public official or a private official or whatever the fuck.
But if you're smart enough, Paul, then all we do is I go down and meet with the city council and say, you know what? I would like to make a $10,000 donation to your reelection fund. And then suddenly the boat goes my way anyways. So bribery is essentially legal.
By the way, sure it'd be good if that Bill 7G failed or whatever the fuck.
That bill seems like a bad bill. By the way, who do I make the check out to for the campaign contribution? It's like, let's see.
Just want to let it be known that my position on that bill. Anyway, here's that campaign contribution I'm making to you.
Well, you're going to get FaceTime
board.
because in a local election, that's going to be a substantial amount of money to do. So the mayor candidate's going to meet with you and listen to whatever TJ's concerns are and tell you like, well, we're going to look into that.
Well, here's a big part of the problem with these politicians is like, the people that actually have access to the politicians to let their fucking shit be known are not the people who show up to the town hall or something. It's people who show up to the fucking $10,000 a plate fucking dinner. That's the people who fucking show up to that kind of shit. They're the ones who gets to meet the governor and fucking talk about, I run this giant business that employs all these people and has all this money and makes all these campaign contributions. And I'm here at this $10,000 plate dinner to talk to you about my grievances. And like, that politician's going to listen to that fucking guy because he's there and they fucking hobnob with the same people and they're in the same income bracket. He has a lot more in common with those people than he has in common with the fucking hoi polloi that show up and scream at him at the fucking town hall event.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, we hear your concerns. Oh,
so
it's
like,
horrible.
just like the level of access that money brings you to the politicians and the political class. I mean, like,
brings you anywhere. We just talked about it earlier. It's like, oh, you want to move to New Zealand? All right, TJ, what qualifications do you have? I'm rich. Oh, come right in.
So many people act like wanting money is greedy. It's like, it's not about greed. It's about like, you literally, the more money you have, the higher class of citizen you are globally.
Yeah,
like
undoubtedly.
It basically is just freedom. The less money you have, the less freedom you have. The more money you have, the more freedom you have, and the more control you have, and the more influence you have, and the more everything you fucking have. It's all tethered down. It all comes down to money. If we were D&D, money would be the fucking ultimate stat buff that fucking brings every attribute you got through.
I'm
the
rich
roof.
though. Okay, you plus 10 to all your rolls.
I'm ugly as fuck,
dude,
but I'm rich. Oh well, actually, you're hot.
One of my favorite things about coming back after shooting that dank D&D thing is how pregnant TJ's prose and references have been with D&D references and shit. It really is like a way to look at life as a game.
Well, look, because I mean, I just look at everything. Because D&D stats and stuff get to a fundamental truth about life that I think a lot of people miss out on, which is You buff out one attribute, you take it away from something else. You build up a strength, you create a fucking weakness. And people don't realize that shit. And it's like we shoot down so many ideas because, like, if we do this idea, then this bad thing's going to happen. Every idea has fucking downsides. Every plan to make you stronger in one area is going to make you weaker in another area. But there is one thing that is pretty much universally positive, and that's having a bunch of money. The only fucking risk you put is that, like, when the revolution comes, you're dead. But
And just
that doesn't seem like it's
dumbass
happening,
good
so.
fortune, too.
Oh, yeah. Dumb
luck.
luck is always good.
Yeah, you can always use luck. That's like the fucking Beverly Hillbillies fucking
Sometimes
principle.
you just, like, you got
Yeah.
your stats are garbage, but you just roll that nat 20 every fucking time. So
And next time we're playing a campaign, I'm going to do that and be like, my character's really rich, so add 10 to my roll.
well, also I started playing Disco Elysium, which has like similar character things, and you
a lot of dice rolls to make checks and stuff in the game.
you got to make those kind of decisions. Am I going to be strong in this area or in this area? And like Fallout, like, I don't know, any game that has like a complicated series of character attributes, you put your stats in one place, that means somewhere else is getting fucking neglected. So if you're a fucking sneaky stealth character, you're probably not all that strong and fucking badass,
Oh, dude, that Disco Elysium game is a fucking highly addictive game.
Yeah.
That really is.
I started playing it the first fucking 30 minutes of it. I was basically like, Paul's an idiot. This game fucking sucks ass.
We're like more. Dude, it is. I
game
wasn't
is
thinking
fucking-
Paul was an idiot. I was thinking like Paul's a fucking genius. I should have played this shit sooner.
I was thinking for the
Fucking
first
love
like
that game.
for the first 30 minutes I was playing, I was like, man, this game is fucking boring. What a snooze. This fucking shit sucks. Art fag bullshit. And then like 4.5 hours later, I was like, God damn, must see what happens next. Jesus Christ. This game is fucking nuts, bro.
Yeah,
This
that's a great
world is
game.
so fucking involved and intricate and shit.
Dude, I just fucking my strategy for that game is I just like walk around and sense everything I can and talk to every person, pretty much every speech option. I mean, sometimes even like I'll just be like, oh, okay, I just want to see what happens.
Dude,
I'll
I've
quick
never-
save and just get myself killed. Like, okay, that's what happens if I do that option.
Well, you're
You can
lucky
tell-
too, TJ, because
Yeah.
the first time I played through it, and you too, Scotty, if you started playing it in the last couple months,
I did,
because they did the big kind of
they
ultra
added all the
update
voices.
to it, where they added a bunch of, like, there was a bunch of voice acting in the original, but there was a lot more just dead text, and I haven't replayed it yet, so I'm actually looking forward to trying a different style of character out. But-
Super awesome game. And it's fucking usually when I play like an RPG or something, it's like when you go talk to someone, it's like, yeah, next. But the writing is actually so good in Disco Elysium that you really do want to hear everything that every character has to say.
And the characters are so different too.
Fucking
I mean, like-
Kuno.
I fucking want to
that
blow.
fucking goddamn
Dude, I
want to
blow Kuno's fucking head off so badly. I'm like, dude, give me a gun. They point at Kuno's head and they blow his brains out and go about my
Fuck
business.
off, you fucking pig. Kuno don't talk to pigs.
And his little butt buddy.
Yeah. That's
Oh my
right,
God.
Kuno. You fucking tell him.
You have really good empathy, though. You can reach Kuno. It's like, I don't, though. My character shockingly does not have a high level of empathy.
My
I
character,
picked
I just
like
created
the
like
weird, esoteric, kind of mystic kind of character where I was constantly plagued with these like I had high shivers.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. So I would get all these like weird cryptic messages about how to proceed in the game, but I managed to do a lot in my first playthrough because I was really fastidious about exploring every little corner of every place, talking
That's
to
how I
every
do it,
person.
too.
I have a real like cerebral character that's like super into like deductive reasoning and shit like that. So
Yeah, that's cool. I want to play through
very-
with just like a big dumb meathead next.
yeah, I'm gonna do that next too. I think after I get done with this one, because
Well,
Just
definitely
punch
appeal.
everything.
I mean, at the very beginning of that stage where you have to get by the guy to get into the Union shipyard, that could definitely help you.
yeah, because you can just knock his ass out then. Just boom, get
Yeah,
out of
just
my way.
knock
you
his
fucking
dumb
big old
racist
dumb
ass
shit.
out. You don't have to. You don't have to fucking.
Internalize his.
Yeah. update your fucking mind on neo-Malthusian racist dialectics or whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
I had good acrobatics though, or like savoir-faire or whatever. So I was able just to jump and get my coat and just sneak in the yard that way.
Yeah. That's how I eventually got in too, but I did not at the start have good savoir-faire. So I had to find what I learned is that outfits in this game are basically like respecs for your character. So like if you've got like a roll coming up, you go into your you don't sell your shit. You go into your inventory, you find the helmet and the hat, the shirt that gives you plus to charisma or plus to savoir-faire or whatever before you make that roll.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, you're kind of locked out of a lot of choices.
Quick saving is your friend in that game. I've definitely done checks where I'm like, I don't feel like having to go and do this other shit. I'm just gonna fucking do this check. Failed, reload.
Yeah. You can also redo every check in the game after you level up. So that's a good thing to know too. Like I never did a reload, but I was able to pass 90% of the checks I really wanted to in the first playthrough, because as you level up, if you put another point in whatever the check was on. So like,
oh well, yeah, of course, yeah.
So like the checks that I really wanted to get through were the ones that I was specialized in, and so every time I leveled up, I just remember, hey, I'm gonna go try that check again.
Well, and if you ever played the game, it kind of informs how you play. So like, I have a character that is like big into encyclopedia drama, so I'm good at detecting lies, and that definitely helps you in the game. Because I like to talk to everyone in the game, so it's like. Yeah. If I'm questioning somebody, my drama thing will pop up and be like, he's telling the truth, sire. You know, it's like, oh, okay. Yeah. So there's definitely like you said, you did Shivers. You'd almost do like a premonition character where it's like, oh shit, what do I need to do? Like, oh, okay, I'm having a vision or some shit. Or I'm having an idea. Yeah. And obviously you could do it physical. Physical, I think, would actually be pretty hard. Because I mean, if you have like low intelligence, you're just kind of like a brute. You're probably gonna rely more on your little partner to do the investigating. You're just gonna more try to open the doors and just intimidate people. I guess I haven't played it that way, so I don't know.
The great thing about the game is you're playing a guy that's a complete fucking mess, and so you can play the game as a complete fucking mess. It's like just because you didn't make this role or that role doesn't exclude you. You know, like there's really no fail state in the game. Maybe there are a couple, but.
Yeah, getting killed, basically.
But you know what I mean? Like, you can fuck up your way through this game, and that's kind of what I want to do. I want to play a big, dumb, drunk, drug-addicted brute.
Cool.
You know, that just takes every drug that's given to him and pursues every alcoholic beverage he can get his hands on, and is drunk during every interaction, and takes every special drunk interaction that I can, because there's a bunch of them. There's also a bunch of, like, what do they call it? Thought cabinet things that are tied to drug use and drinking that you don't even get access to if you don't do it. Like my first character, I was a fucking teetotaler. I was like, well, this guy's life is obviously fucked up because he drinks and does too many drugs, so I'm going to clean this motherfucker up. He's on the case now, you know what I mean? No fucking weed, solve the murder, motherfucker. Next time I'm gonna listen to the fucking lizard brain, like, take a fucking hit. Be like, yeah, all right.
I think that's probably common, because I've done the same thing. I just did like the waste on the reality thing. I'm like, yeah, my guy needs to get sober. But then I think it's probably because like when you first go in, it's like, yeah, his life is a wreck. But then you're like, the more you find out about the character, you're like, in that respect,
maybe his life should be a wreck. You know, maybe he was better off when his life was a wreck. Maybe the look isn't a look of pain. You know what I mean? Maybe it's a mask of horrible sorrow within.
Did you look into the mirror, TJ, and see your reflection?
Yeah,
you did.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, you have several opportunities during the game to consider your reflection and try and change the look to varying degrees of success and failure. My character, I think I ended up like, at some point I followed a chain that allowed me to shave off my mustache, and I did it, and it was just like, you instantly regret this decision. You know what I mean? I was like, yes, I do, because the picture was even more hideous, you know?
Oh, no, please.
Awesome.
Yeah, I just got past the first area. So did you guess you've only played about 4 or 5 hours of the game?
Yeah, I did one big long session. I haven't come back to it yet, but I'm going to.
Dude, I'm telling you, I think I'm about 20 hours in right now.
The
It's
music
incredible
is fucking amazing in the game too. Like, you don't mention it. You don't
It's
like
the first game I've ever taken HP damage from sitting in an uncomfortable chair.
Hey,
at Everett's
your dumb
office?
ass shouldn't have sat in that chair. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It looked uncomfortable as fuck. So
Yeah, it even warned me. It's like, this chair is uncomfortable looking. I'm like, fuck that. I'll sit down. I ain't a pussy.
You
Then
know
it's
what?
like, you take 1 HP damage from the chair. I'm like, motherfucker, really?
I failed that check, but there was some other check that I had like a 3% chance, and I'm just like, fuck it. And it was like, I somehow passed the check. I got 2 6s, and it's like, I was like, okay, great. So, I mean, sometimes you just luck out in that game.
yeah.
I didn't realize at first when you're playing it too that you have to immediately hit your like health or your morale button, because it's like, I'm like, oh shit, what do I do? How do I heal? It's like, you got to hit that.
Yeah.
But it's just a fun little game. And I'll tell you what though, but it seems like a long game though. It's definitely not something you're gonna just like,
It's
okay, I'm gonna
long.
go.
And there's so many different paths through it. There's so many different ways to play it that, a person like me, there's no way I was ever going to be satisfied with one playthrough of that game. Like, I'm just waiting long enough to where it's a little bit fresh for me. And I think I'm ready to jump back into it again now that they've got that remaster or whatever.
Honestly, before I was playing New Vegas, then I was like, I saw things like Steam Summer Sale like a few weeks ago. I was actually right before we went to LA, and I was like, oh fuck, yeah, let me buy it because it was on sale. I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and get Disco Elysium. I started playing, and I was like, oh shit, dude, I gotta put this game down. I'm not even gonna fucking do research. I'm just gonna be like, guys, my episode is on Disco Elysium and how it's a great game. It's like,
Thought I'd just play it for 30 minutes
Yeah,
so
guys,
you kind
look.
of see what's it about.
yeah, I'm gonna play for 30 minutes. You check out my character. Don't give me any suggestions though, because I'm playing my own thing. But you guys can watch.
Disco
Yeah.
Elysium.
Just fucking creators of Disco Elysium might as well just fucking cut us a check for that
I
fucking.
sat down in that fucking chair, and I took the check, so that took like
Oh, I
a
took
bunch
the
of
check,
morale
too.
damage. I'm
Well, I knew I
like,
needed to
ain't
make some
turning down
money.
No money.
I
Fuck
gotta make
that.
some fucking money, dude. I gotta pay my hotel bill or whatever.
I'll be beholden to this guy. I don't give a shit.
There's some
know,
shit that I wasn't able to do because, like, the game, you think the game is big and then it expands and then it expands again. And the amount of characters that are in those 2 expanded areas that you can get to are just fucking mind boggling. And the amount of choice, like, the game just holds this quality all the way through. Like, I kept expecting the game to get like this to this point where I was like, okay, it's getting old. Wrap this up, or okay, it's starting to get grindy. But every character that you talk to, every new experience you have in the game, every new plot line that you bring to fruition, whether positively or negatively, adds something that pushes you forward. And so it's a great game for that, in my opinion. Like, it's one of those games that, like, very rare to find.
And it makes you wait, dude. It makes you wait. Like, there's threads that just take a while to just come to fruition. So, and that's the great thing about the game too, is that, like, you'd be like, fuck, how do I get my badge, or how do I get this thing, or how do I figure this part out? And it's like, you might have to actually expand to a new area, or talk to the right person, or find the right thing. It's just,
well, I became very hyper focused on one aspect of the game, one sub quest. And I love in this game too that sub quests are not like specifically enumerated. It's just like shit that you have to remember. It's like, oh yeah, there's other pieces of it was the armor. You guys have probably at least run across the boots.
Yeah.
Well, you can collect an entire suit of that fucking armor over the course of the game. And let me tell you, it ain't easy. But I was able to, that's one of the fucking achievements I got. I was able to get every piece of that fucking armor because I was obsessive about it, though. I was like, no. I'm not going to the next area yet because there's a piece of fucking armor back there that I have to get. I don't know how to get it, but I'm going to figure it out. And I was able to get it all. And that was cool.
It makes you pretty badass. Yeah, the armor, like, I just got the gloves. I know you're talking about the ceramic armor.
Yeah, the vitreous enamel or whatever they call it. So yeah,
what are you doing, TJ?
That's cool. Dude, side quests are huge in the game. You really should try and do them, even if you fail them or fuck them up or end up betraying the person you're trying to help or whatever.
I just accept almost every fucking little bullshit thing someone can give me, because I'm like, look, this is a game where it's like everything is dependent on everything else that you do. So every little interaction you have is not just like, it doesn't matter, because that's how I got a lot of the information I got, and even where to find those gloves and open that option up because of who I talked to. And you know that as well. It's like, it's really just a game that, and you have to just go back over it several times. Like, and walk around this place with your flashlight on.
You also have to win talks with yourself.
Oh yeah, that's
different
true.
aspects of yourself will challenge you during the game to do different things, and it's like you have to win against it. You have to win against your subconscious and your, I don't know, man. The thought cabinet is really interesting. There's a ton of like hover over this to read the background in Disco Elysium, and I read everything I could get my fucking eyeballs on. It's just like,
I don't blame you.
So much of it informs the gameplay choices and shit. I don't know. Anyway, great game. That's probably a grease trap as well. Go get Disco Elysium.
Do it.
Stop investing money and time into the DNC.
Buy Disco Elysium instead.
Yeah, buy Disco Elysium instead. Escapism over activism. All right.
Yes.
Fuck yeah, dude. Do it.
Do it. I mean, there's a lot of like labor shit in Disco. I mean,
yeah, you can
Disco Elysium's
pretend
got
to
lot of
be
political
like
components.
a labor advocate in Disco Elysium.
There you go.
Deep fat fried. Deep fat fried. Deep fat fried.